Hi, welcome back to the tutorial series for Little GP Tracker. My name is Jags, and today we're going to delve into it. Exciting. So we're going to, in this video, learn how to start a new song, how to import samples, and start going through some of the basics of making music. So first thing you're going to want to do, once you open up GP Tracker, you're going to have the files. If you are just starting, you're not going to have any of these files except for 10K, I believe, which is the demo. But I am just going to go hit the right button and go to new. And this page is going to come up. Let's just name this something. I know you can't really see. The way you're naming, you're just holding A and moving up to change letters, going right to add more letters. Once you're done, you can click OK, and you'll see this screen. So this is the main screen of Little GP Tracker. It has 8 columns of patterns that are able to be inserted. If you'll see up here on the left, this is the map of Little GP Tracker. And the way you navigate through the map is hitting the right trigger. So for me, this guy. And using the D-pad to navigate. So you start in the Song tab. If you go up one, you go to the Project tab. This is where your project settings are going to be located. So first, you see tempo. You can click A and right or left to adjust the tempo by intervals of 1. Or you can press A and up down and change the project by intervals of 10. I apologize about the quality of the video. I know it's hard to see. The next option is the master, which is simply the master volume. It can go all the way up to 200 or all the way down to 10. Transposing is exactly what it sounds like. Again, you can hold A, right or left to go up steps of 1, up or down to go up in steps of 10. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the compact sequencer instruments are, so I'm not going to talk about those. We can learn about those together at a different time. Then down here later, you have the load and save options, an option for a MIDI output, which if you are using the AmberNet console, does not matter to you because it doesn't have a MIDI support. And then an exit. When you exit, it's going to ask if you would like to quit and lose faith. We don't want to lose faith right now, so we're going to say no. Okay, it's time to start a song. First, from the main option, hit right to go to new. Hit A. Here, hold A and move up on the direction pad to name a project. And then click load when you are finished. Now we are faced with an empty screen. Everyone's worst nightmare. Thankfully, all we have to do is hit A. And now we have a chain, 0, 0. And so now we have, we're going to hit A again, and now we have a pattern, or a phrase, excuse me. And now this looks a little less intimidating, especially if you just start putting notes in at random. Boom, there's 4 C3s. If we hit start, nothing happens because there's no instrument loaded to these notes. So it's playing the C3, it's just playing them with air. So if we want this C3 to sound like something, we need to change the instrument. So go to the note C3, hit right once, hold the right trigger and right to go to the instrument screen, double click on sample, and navigate to what you want. So let's just add a drum. These are the samples I stole from the KO2. I didn't steal, just disregard that. Publicly available. I'm sure you can find them if you would like. All right, let's just import a kick. And so we'll see now when we hover over this 0, 0, it's showing this is the sample that we're using, cardio kick. So now if I hit play, we get kicks. Great. Let's have our second kick be a snare instead. How do I do that? So I navigate to the second C3, go over to the instrument column, hold A, right click, and it changes its value from 0, 0 to 0, 1. And you can now see no instrument is loaded. Double click. Oh, excuse me. Right trigger and right to go to the instrument panel. Double click. And now we are ready to find a snare. Sure. Great. So, excuse me, now our snare is loaded. Right trigger left to go back to the phrase editor. And let's make the second and fourth notes snares. Again, to do that, you simply hold A, right or left to change the instrument. So you can see me changing back and forth between cardio, kick, and snare. Hit play. Great. Now, lastly, we will add one more instrument here. So in between the kick and the snare, I'm going to add another C3 and move over to the instrument column. Change this to 3, which is a null instrument. You know what to do. Double click, navigate to your samples. Here's a simple closed hi-hat. Insert your hi-hats in between your bass and snares. And now you have a simple beat. Now navigate back to your song editor. Right trigger, left, left, and here we are. So if we hit play here, it's going to play this pattern, pattern 0, 0, forever, because it has no other information to play anything. Okay, so we want to add a pad to this. So let's go to our newly created chain, right click, go to the right. Now you'll see it populates as 0, 0. Now, we already have a chain 0, 0, right? This is the chain, and if we go right, it's our drum and kick pattern. So even though we changed the number here, if we leave this as 0, 0, it's going to be the same pattern. So what you need to do, when you change this to 0, 1, you just simply need to change this to 0, 1. And now this is an empty pattern that you can add notes to. Okay, so let's do the same thing. Quickly add a pad of some sort. Great. And let's give it a few more notes. Say C. We're just going to go up the C pentatonic here. Great. Oh, I did. So this is a good point. So if you like to change a note, I probably should have gone over that earlier. Simply go to the note, click A, right left clicks changes it by a value by a half step. The up and down changes it by an octave. So I want this to be D sharp, but instead of D sharp, 2, I want it to be D sharp 3. I will simply hit A and up. Great. So now, this is a very important concept for GP Tracker. If I play this now from the top, it's going to play my drum beats. Great. Hey, wait a minute. Where the hell is my chords? What? Don't worry. Your chords are there. The reason they are not playing is because Piggies are a little dumb, okay? And it does not know that there's anything in this column because the first slot is empty and second slot is empty. And so it's reading this first slot is empty and saying, okay, this whole column is empty. So we need to tell Piggy that that is not the truth. So what I recommend highly is for all of your projects on Piggy Tracker, choose one number that will be your null chain for every project. For me, I've chosen the number 20. I don't recommend choosing like 1 or 2 because you're going to want to use those pretty much all the time. I would recommend something higher and higher. So for me, 20 is going to be nothing. I'm not going to insert anything into 20 other than a chain, also called 20, with nothing in it. Note that adding the 20 chain here also changed it here, right? Because they're the same. And now if we play, it plays our chords.